Welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
How was your week?
Had a good week.
I did too.
Yeah. Very good week.
Okay week. I did something new this week. My friend Pam told me about this. It's called restorative yoga. So I went to this place in Toms River on Wednesday night. It's 8 o'clock. And I've never done yoga before, not like in a place. I've never gone any place before.
Oh, you never have?
No. I mean, Matt tried to teach me it, with the mat and the TV. But so I go to this place and she's like, no, it's very relaxing. So I really don't know what to expect. Pam was supposed to meet me there, but then something happened and whatever. I went by myself. She's like, you can wait and go next week with me. But next week I have the board of adjustments. Right. So I was like, no, I'll just, I'll go by myself. So it was very nice. So this woman does this guided meditation, and she's talking to you and she's telling you poses to do, and basically she's like, if it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. And it's dark and there's incense, and I don't generally like incense, but it was not offensive to me. As a matter of fact, because I've had a cold, I was kind of stuffed up, but by the time I left, I wasn't stuffed up anymore.
Did they use any essential oil? A lot of times they'll come around with essential oil and
well,
rub it on your temples.
She didn't touch me, but she did do something on my feet. She sprayed magnesium on my feet.
Yes, that's good for sleeping.
But I had socks on, but that's okay. She sprayed them on my socks. I guess she could have wore socks, not wore socks, whatever. I had my socks on. And then she had the bowls, those bowls.
The sound bowls.
The sound bowls. Yep. And then she's talking. And it just, honestly, it was very relaxing.
Oh yeah,
nice.
It's very relaxing.
It was very relaxing. So much so that I was looking to see, I mean, it's in Toms River, it's not that far, but
there's got to be a place around
but
here,
it's only on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. I didn't see it at that place another time. I was like, you know what, when I'm having a bad day at work, I would like to go do this in Howell while I'm working. I'd like to go find a place.
on your lunch.
For my lunch, give me 45 minutes, or I mean, I have an hour lunch. I could take the whole hour.
Right.
And just
go.
Just go. So
Detox,
that's what my quest is going to be. See if I can find some place in Howell that has it at lunchtime that I can try and.
That's a good idea.
But just I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to go. If you guys want to come with me.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
So your first one is free, so you guys can go for free. And then the drop-in price is $16, which I'm fine with.
That's not bad.
No, I don't think so either. And then Pam was explaining to me, their first month is if you want to do it, it's $45. You can take as many classes as you want. And then it's $8. I'm like, you know what? No, I'll just, when I want to go, I'll do the drop-in for $16. And then I'll go and I'll do the thing. But, I mean, at one point I had my feet up, I was laying flat on my back and my feet were up against the wall. And then she came by and she put a sandbag on my feet. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Are you all right with that?" I'm like, "Yeah, actually I am."
It feels good, right?
It's
it grounds you.
It's different. I've never experienced it before, but I think we should try it.
Absolutely.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it. I used to do Pilates at Workout World all the time, and I loved it.
All right, so not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. Let's make a date.
Okay.
All right.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's start with our Would You Rathers.
Okie dokie. Would you rather meet a famous person who is boring or an average person that is hilarious?
Oh, an average person that's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not really enamored by famous.
No.
I mean...
You're definitely not.
No, I'm really not.
No.
Me neither.
Because I've been with you where we see people and you'll go right up to them. I'm always starstruck.
Yeah, no. I don't have I don't have a problem talking to people either.
Right.
And if I want something, there's only one way to get it.
Right.
And that's by asking.
Right. And I imagine you're the same way, but I just like to laugh. So
no, I definitely like to laugh.
If I connect with somebody and you make me laugh, we're friends for life.
I took my daughter once to Washington D.C. to the ballet, and her favorite ballet dancer, this Russian ballet dancer, was performing. And after the ballet, everybody, the real ballet people, wait for the star to come out. And they know where the dressing room door is, and they wait, and then they speak to the person or get their autograph or whatever. And this was, I drove all the way from here to Washington, D.C. was her favorite thing,
Yeah.
her favorite person.
Yeah.
And there was such a big crowd that all of a sudden she was just going to her limo. And I was like, you know what?
No.
I ran over there and tracked that bitch down. I stopped her just as she was getting into her car, and I apologized. I said, I know you gotta be exhausted. I said, but I drove a long way here, and you're my daughter's favorite. So she got a picture with her.
Oh, that was nice. Kayla was probably,
Yeah.
your daughter was probably mortified.
No, she was like, okay, you go, Mom.
Okay.
Well, it's something for her, she don't
Good.
care.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
This is the dumbest one I think we've ever
I
done.
think this is fucking great.
I think it's funny.
I think it's hysterical.
A horse-sized duck.
Right, so either it's a duck that's the size of a horse.
Right, I got it.
Okay.
All right, but think about it. Ducks don't have hands. They're not punching you.
Yeah, but they got that big old beak.
They
Imagine
do
the
have a
beak.
big ass beak.
I mean,
They'll get you.
They do
it's
have
not
a
like a
big ass
kangaroo when we
beak.
did the kangaroo one.
I don't know if I want to fight 100 anything though.
Right.
I'm old.
I'm
I'll
going.
be, black shirt would be huffing.
Yeah, extra and be up.
I'm gonna go with the horse-sized duck.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'll jump on that bitch's back. and
that's
ride
right.
it.
I'll do something. I'll close that beak right up.
That's right. All right. Face your biggest fear or spend one night in a landfill.
Well, first you got to say what your biggest fear is.
We don't have to say.
Well, no, you kind of do.
I'll
Why?
say what my biggest fear is.
I don't really have a fear.
Well, now she's just fucking annoying, Kelly.
I mean, see, wait. I want to hear what your biggest fear is.
Going off of a bridge in a car and being stuck underwater in a car.
Oh, I mean, what are the chances of that happening?
I don't know. I've seen movies. It's just that shit happens.
Shit happens.
That's my biggest fear.
I'm not afraid
And I'm going
of.
to spend a night in a landfill, so that shit doesn't happen.
I'm not afraid of things that are what ifs. I don't like I said to you guys before. Like I don't really worry
Listen,
about.
every fucking day is a what if.
Yeah. All day long is a what
All
if.
minute to minute
Is what
is
if.
a what if.
You guys are so funny.
I don't like centipedes.
Centipedes?
what?
Centipedes.
So that's your biggest fear?
Like
They're that big.
oh fuck am I? So it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. There's too many legs. Nothing's supposed to have that many legs. And move that fast. It's just wrong.
And
I'm
move
going
that
for the
fast.
landfill.
We had one
If you
when I was
had
a
that
kid.
many legs, you would move fast.
We had a
too.
millipede when I was a kid. My brother had a millipede.
How many legs is that?
A lot.
Too many.
It's like this big.
Ew. See? No.
That's like, what is
stop.
that? Like
What?
6, 8 inches?
It was that big?
It was that big. It was like that, like
Yeah.
an inch or so wide.
It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Round. It was stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever. No, I'm not afraid of that.
Well, I'm
So
gonna
you wanna
spend-
be in the
I'm gonna spend a
landfill?
night
Yeah.
in a landfill.
You guys both want to be in a landfill.
Well, yeah, I don't want to go off a bridge in a car and die and
All
drown.
right, yeah. I'll take the fear. I mean, I don't even know what it is, but I'll take it. I don't like smelling shit. You want to be in a smelly landfill for a night? No,
Yeah, but
thanks.
once you're there for a little while, you don't smell anything.
Yeah.
Well,
What happens every time you get in my car?
I don't
I
smell
said, does
anything.
my car smell? I'm always afraid my car smells because I'm always afraid that I'm used to the smell of my car.
I will tell you, I have a very sensitive nose. I have a very, very good nose because I can tell when someone in my house is smoking and they're upstairs or they're outside or they're wherever. So my nose, not you.
I know.
Somebody that lives here.
Her nose new.
My nose is very good. I can tell when something is baking in the oven, when it's done. I can tell when it's done. I don't need the timer. My nose can tell me when it's done. I have a very good
And
nose.
she doesn't cook, people at home.
No, but I do bake.
Oh, that's right. You do
I do bake. No,
That's
I do
right.
bake.
You do bake. You do bake.
I do bake. So I'm going with I'll face my biggest fear when I figure out what it is.
All right. Drink milk from a goat's udder or let a spider crawl around in your mouth for 1 minute.
A goat's udder.
Goat's udder.
Yeah. Blair, are you eating crackers?
I am.
She's eating crackers. Wait, was that the last one?
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
that
okay.
Was, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't see that far.
Here's a would you rather for the people at home. Would you rather do a podcast without eating crackers on?
on the pod
or eating them.
after we just came from
From
happy
dinner.
hour / dinner?
Yeah.
It's not like she hasn't eaten in an hour.
No. It's just how it is.
Good.
It's how
Go
it
ahead
is.
with your bad self.
Okay, we're going to do the first part of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. I would like to start off with talking about the set, Lori.
I liked it when it was dim.
You guys are so funny. I don't even remember what the set looked
I-
like.
It wasn't super.
I love the set.
It wasn't super great. Like
I
it was.
bet you after
memorable.
Salt Lake City, they just
Well, it was
went
called,
very easy.
Andy named it. It was Backyard Cocktail Party in the Hollywood Hills.
Yes. So when they first walked on,
Stop doing a thing,
they had
Andy.
all the lights were dim, and there were like these twinkle lights on, and it
Well,
was
that's
so
always pretty.
It was so pretty. But then they like turned the lights on. I
No,
was
because
like,
they
"Oh, you
turned on
fucked
the
it all
lights
up."
in the background, so you could see like the skyline.
Yeah,
in-
but they
at
could have done it
nighttime.
with like they could have
I
done it a
liked
little
it.
better.
I liked it, and the couches were nice.
Yes, yes.
There was no stupid tumbleweed or anything dumb.
Yeah,
I liked it. I
No,
thought
it was
good.
nice, but I'm just saying I really liked it in the very beginning
Yeah.
when the lights were dim and it was like.
Well, now I got it. Well, I like to rewatch it back on Peacock because I always watch it on my DVR.
Yeah, I
and
do
then
too.
I like to, but I haven't watched the Peacock version
haven't
yet, so
either.
I'll notice. I'll
Yes.
notice now.
Okay, let's just talk about this too before we get in. Like, what do you think about the outfits?
I did not like Annemarie's. I thought it was horrible. I thought it looked like something. It looked like an Olympic outfit made into a dress.
Yeah, I
Hers
didn't
was
like
the blue one,
Annemarie's.
right?
Yeah, it's like
Now,
weird.
the interesting thing about her blue
material.
dress is that Charisse from Potomac wore that same blue dress many years prior.
Really?
Yes, I saw that
I
online.
don't like it.
I didn't
like the fabric.
I
It was
really
weird.
hated Dorit's. I hated everything about
Oh,
Dorit's
disgusting.
outfit. Everything.
The
I don't
only
like it.
thing okay. Well, we're gonna get to this later.
We're just talking about clothes right now.
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna save my comment about Dorit's outfit, the one that I text you about.
Okay.
But I don't know why people are making such a big deal that she had the
Scarf?
hood
covering.
on, because Melissa Gorga wore the hood on the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Because
reunion.
of the whole. I think it's because of the whole Garcelle cultural appropriation, blah, 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 blah. People even had something to say about the piece of hair falling on her forehead. So people just go too far with
You know
nonsense.
what though? I never even thought about that with the hood. And you know what?
Who
She-
gives a shit?
Well, it
No.
wasn't a
She
hood, it
wants.
was a scarf. And Melissa had a hood on. Let's be clear about
Melissa
that.
had a hood.
Melissa
I
had a
didn't
hood.
realize that was a scarf.
Dorit's was a scarf. Like
Scarf.
it was literally a scarf. Like it was
But you know what? It
chiffon.
did look like a hood, and considering what happened this season, that is fucking stupid. Like, who dressed her?
Well, the whole outfit was foolishness.
It was.
It's
It
just
was.
foolishness.
It was.
And she's such
But especially for that.
She's just a beautiful woman. She really
She
is
is.
absolutely stunning. And I don't know what she was thinking with that nonsense.
Well, doesn't he ask her, and she said fashion?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. He said, like, what was the inspiration? I heard people talking about, the new movie Dune is coming out.
Oh yeah, she was like
And-
channeling Dune.
Yeah, channeling Dune.
Maybe that was her deal.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I love Crystal's. So pretty.
Crystal looked great,
Yes, Crystal did look
And
good.
Garcelle's was beautiful.
and Garcelle looked great. I'm trying to
Kyle's
think.
is beautiful too.
I
with
think
that
Kyle
green.
always looks good, to be quite honest with you.
Pretty too.
Kyle always looks good, but Crystal and Garcelle, I think, were my favorites. I'm trying to think.
Sutton
who was...
had on that blue. I mean, it was alright, but it wasn't anything.
Sutton doesn't
Right.
dress for her age. She doesn't dress for her age, and it doesn't help her.
I think Sutton's hit or miss. Sometimes she's really good, and other
Yeah.
times she's really bad. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like there's no medium with her.
Like
Yeah.
she looked so cute on the thing where before the reunion even started when she first got there.
Yes.
Oh, when
yes.
they were
Her
getting
dog,
ready.
she looked so cute.
Yes.
Yes.
Blades were on. Like, she just looked really cute.
Yeah.
And the dress she wore was pretty and it looked nice on her, but it wasn't anything
Right.
great.
Yeah. I think Crystal and Garcelle took the reunion looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that I just wanted to get that over with because those are things that are kind of important to me, and I know
Yeah.
the set was important to you. I knew
Yeah.
that you would notice it, and I can't believe that you didn't. But you'll go back and see it.
Yeah. I'm not.
Well, at least you didn't notice it for a bad reason. There's that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I totally
That's
agree
true.
with you on the
That's
Salt Lake
true.
City. That was.
Okay, so
badness.
I have Andy asks what Dorit thought about Kyle saying she thinks Erika is a good friend. Because that's how it kind of started out, where Andy's sitting on the end. She said, well, you know, Erika's a good friend of mine. And of course, Dorit took offense to that because she considers herself a good friend of Kyle's.
And I believe she has been.
I don't think she has been, in my opinion. I think that she threw a lot of shade in her confessionals.
Okay, but Kyle does the same thing.
Listen, they all throw shade in the confessionals.
Exactly.
They do all throw shade in the confessionals. I don't like that she brought it up on camera in the car.
But here's the thing. So
Because that was before that was in the very beginning of the season. When they were driving, when she was taking her to the pretty woman thing.
Right. But Kyle is on camera saying that Dorit has exaggerated their friendship.
Yeah, and she feels like she has.
So why would you be so offended if somebody who you clearly don't consider a very true friend brought something up on camera? She's just doing her job.
She didn't say that Dorit exaggerated her friendship until after the season was airing. And that's when it came out. Like, it's not like...
But she must have already felt that way. She just said it then.
No,
she must have already
I don't
felt
think she felt that way. I don't think she felt... Why would she say that? She said it after what Dorit had said. Dorit kept saying, I'm such a good friend of hers. We go on vacation together. Why isn't she talking to me? And she was asked on an Amazon Live. That's how it came out. She was doing an Amazon Live. And someone said to her, you know, what do you think about... So she answered a question. It's not like she went on social media and said... It happened on an Amazon Live.
I know.
So she was answering a question that was asked to her. And she's like, well, I really can't. But even then when she called her out at the reunion and she said, well, I mean, it's not like we go to lunch when we're not filming. And she couldn't come up with the time that they go to lunch when they're not filming. You know, is that a good friend? Like, I don't think that that's a good friend.
I think it's all fake, the whole thing anyway. So.
I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I just think it all makes for a good storyline.
I mean, I do think... I don't know what happened there.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
No, either.
No connection. Doesn't matter. I do think that the text message that Kyle sent to Dorit, I mean, I can see where she would think it was manipulative. I think we talked about this last week. My first reaction is not to think that. My first reaction is to think, okay. But if they hadn't talked in months, and then the day before the reunion, the timing isn't good. The timing isn't good.
Yep.
And if you wanted to have a conversation with her, then you pick up the phone and call her.
Exactly.
So, again, I get that.
But if you're not really that close of friends, then maybe you don't. And then you send that text to cover your ass.
Or maybe it's all part of the storyline. Because it makes for a great storyline.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then you send a text the day before the reunion to basically be like, listen, I'm going through something.
Right.
So please don't, hammer me.
Well, I think what she was referring to, and I could be wrong because the way I read it, she was talking about, don't come at me for our friendship, not anything specific about the Mo thing. Is that how you understood it, or do you think she was talking about...
in general, felt like Kyle was being like, I'm, in a bad place. So,
and
go easy.
Did Dorit respond to it or no?
I don't know. We never
don't
saw
know,
that.
right? We don't know if
we
she
don't
responded
know that.
to it. And I think that would be the question. I think Andy should have asked that question.
Hopefully he does.
Well, because we already addressed that, though.
Did the text come up already?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Like, he didn't ask that question. I think that question should have been asked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then he goes over to Garcelle, and she's talking about her relationship with her boys and her ASTRA award and her conflict with Dorit. And then she brings up again the unconscious Karen remark.
I feel like Dorit and Garcelle are saying the same things over and over again, and neither one of them are actually hearing what the other one is saying.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yep. She got pounded.
Dorit?
She did.
I agree.
She got pounded.
Do you think she deserved it?
Well, so someone who's slightly clueless themselves. I think that there was a time and place to have conversations like that, and it's not on TV. But again, this is a produced.
The problem is they're getting
TV
paid
show.
to do it.
It's a produced TV
But
show.
don't you feel like, I really don't feel like Dorit is intentional in anything.
No.
And I do feel like when Crystal and Garcelle, because Crystal was right with what she said too. The child bride thing to an Asian woman is offensive. And I get that. Because somebody could call
Well, listen,
us.
a child bride to any, it's just not a good
But
idea.
I'm just
no
saying,
matter
as
what.
a white woman, if someone
Right.
says child bride,
There's
we don't-
not a mail
as a
order
white
bride.
woman who grew up in America,
Right.
the phrase child bride isn't going to mean to us what it means.
to them.
Right.
Yes.
So I get that, but I do.
It was
feel
a
like
snarky. It was
was totally snarky. And when Kyle said, when somebody is talking about someone who's young, I always say they're like 12.
Yeah.
I do too.
I do the same thing too. Yes.
I just said it about, Allie, James's girlfriend on Vanderpump Rules. I always say, well, she looks like she's 12. She
Right.
does. So, but I do feel like Dorit takes it and says, like, you know what? I didn't understand, and I'm sorry.
But she doesn't, though. That's what I don't like about Dorit, is that she doesn't just apologize.
You don't think she did, though?
No.
I think she did on the reunion.
No, because listen, when she had the conversation with Garcelle, and they were in the restaurant, and, Garcelle said to her...
Yeah, no,
"You're
that
not-"
conversation,
no,
she
then,
did not.
But then after
She
that,
didn't.
she doubled down with her
Yes.
post.
Yes, she did.
She doubled down with her Instagram post when she said she was in her bubble.
She did. You're
It's
right.
like she does. That's the whole point. Is that Dorit?
I felt like in the reunion with Crystal, when Crystal made a point about the child bride, she took it and apologized. But you're right. At that lunch, she didn't.
But that's her MO. Yes, specifically when Crystal said it, then she did. But her MO is that she doesn't apologize. She doubles down on it, and she keeps arguing the point.
Right.
And it's like, you can't keep doing that. Like, you
No.
can't. And she just doesn't say,
Not
okay.
if you want to keep your job.
No, and then to even okay.
She's
So,
probably not going to be there next year. She's probably not.
I mean, what does she have going? She had nothing going on anyway. And even
No.
after let's say, okay, so she does apologize to Crystal, right? And then Annemarie, now we know her name is Annemarie, pronounced that way, even though it's spelled Annemarie.
Right.
Annemarie says that Crystal said that they were all uneducated, and then Dorit doubles down again and says, I am the only one with a college degree.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Dorit.
And like 4 of them older.
They're like, Dorit, you speak 7 languages and you can't figure out, like, you're not even paying attention.
Well, she must not be paying attention, because I would believe that out of all these women in a group like that, they've discussed this before, especially because it's come up on the show.
What I'm saying is she's not accountable. She doesn't, like, I feel like she just talks for the sake of talking. I feel like she likes to hear herself speak.
Yes, well, for sure. She goes on and on and on and on.
And she doesn't take accountability.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not a Dorit fan. I don't know if you can pick that up.
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe. Totally picking up on that vibe. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay.
But then Garcelle says she doesn't know if she wants to have a friendship with Dorit.
But she's always said that. I mean, Garcelle maintained that from the beginning.
Yeah.
She said that.
No,
you know
that's
what? I don't know
she's-
that because Dorit said, "Do you like me?" She said, "I don't know that I."
Basically, it was like, nope.
Yeah.
No, and
Yeah.
listen, be honest, okay?
Right,
You don't
right.
have to. You
Right.
could coexist.
Right.
You don't have to pal around with me, but just respect what I'm saying to you
Right.
and learn from it. Like, and I don't feel like she does. I just don't feel like she does.
Well, hopefully by now she has. I didn't realize Annemarie lost her mom.
No, and that was a big, we should have known that.
Yeah, but like that wasn't shown on the show at all.
I think she didn't want it to be shown. And listen, I can respect that.
Yeah,
I can
she didn't
respect
want
that.
anybody to know.
Yeah.
She didn't want anyone to know. I mean, she was going through a difficult time, but
I give her a lot of credit for doing a show while that's happened, because I wouldn't have been able to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it does paint her in a different light. It doesn't excuse the whole esophagus thing and how she wouldn't let it go.
Yeah.
It may give her another season. I don't know.
Yeah,
it may.
It may. That
may give her another season, because if
might give her another
if
season.
not for that, I don't think she would get another season. I also even heard, I don't know how much of it is true, that during their trip to Barcelona, she just wouldn't even let it go. Like, there was a bunch of Barcelona that they didn't even air because
about the esophagus,
about Annemarie and the whole nurse anesthetist and the esophagus and the whole thing. Like, she just kept, and she talked about it all season.
Yeah, let's let it go, man.
Right.
Let's let it go.
Right. I mean, she did, once you watched it back, she's like, oh, that, she did apologize, but then she still went after Crystal.
Right. And she's not owning up to the eating disorder thing. She did intimate that.
Annemarie did.
Yes.
Yes,
that Sutton
Crystal
had
would...
an eating disorder.
Well, she asked, does she? She
Right.
flat out asked.
Right. And then she blamed it on Crystal, and Crystal
Right.
would never say that.
Right.
No.
No, not coming from where she is.
Let's see. What else do I have?
Well, I have here, why is everyone so afraid to speak out against Kathy? Dorit should have been more sensitive to Kyle. So we must have gotten to that at that point, at some point.
I didn't have that. I mean, we didn't even bring up Kathy yet.
No, they must have, because I have that written down.
Okay.
I'm a little tipsy.
Okay.
So I can't recall exactly why I have that written down, but I have it written down.
So just make note, it is written down.
It's
all right, so
written
maybe
down.
it's coming. Maybe we're going to get more details about that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they started talking about, like, Kyle was like, you're not that, like, to Dorit, like, you're not, basically,
right,
like, you're
that much
closer to
friends
me
with her
than you are
were
with
to her.
him.
Like,
Right.
You barely know her.
And
Right.
You don't
it
really
goes
know
back
much
to
about her.
last year's reunion when Dorit was taking Kathy's side. That
Right,
part did
and Kyle
come
said,
out.
I don't want you to speak on this right now. And she was,
Right.
and Dorit was like, okay.
Right.
But that was Dorit's chance to step in and be Kyle's friend and not bow down to Kathy. I don't know why these people are so fucking scared of Kathy,
Yeah, I don't know.
but they are.
So I have a thing up here on my screen about someone did a post from All Things Bravo Reality, and it says, I finally figured out what Dorit's reunion dress reminded me of, an Imperial Red Guard from Star Wars. Who wore it better?
Yeah.
It's very true.
The next one's the best, though.
The squiggy.
When Dorit wore her hair like Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw that and
Okay.
fucking died.
And the middle one, I guess she was getting some kind of IV treatment.
Who, Dorit?
Yeah.
What do you,
She was getting ready.
It's all the rage, the IV treatment.
Oh, yes.
I don't know. I do think that, Kyle is a new person this year
Yeah.
because of, 1, she stopped drinking.
Mhm.
2, she's into the fitness.
Mhm.
3, she's going through things with her husband. 4, she lost her best friend to suicide.
Yeah.
Like,
Big shit,
she's
man.
got a lot
It's big
going
shit.
on.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next part
Yeah.
of the reunion. I really am. And I don't really have anything else for this part. Did you,
Well, what's on the screen?
Erika?
Oh, just about Erika Jane. She lost a court battle. And
Oh,
faces
yes.
trial.
I didn't hear about this.
I did.
I saw the slide, but I didn't
Ronald
hear about
Richard put it out. So Ronald, do you know who Ronald Richard
I
is?
follow him on Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter right now.
So Ronald Richard has been, his wife actually has the earrings, by the way, because he bought them
Oh,
and
you
gave them
told
to
me
his
that.
wife. Yeah. So Ronald Richard is an attorney, not her attorney, but he's an attorney, and he's been talking about this case for a very long time because he's followed it. And I guess it just recently came out that, what does it say, Laura?
Okay, let's see. So, On Tuesday, a judge denied Erika Jayne's request to have a lawsuit filed against her by fashion designer Christopher.
Oh, the
Yeah, she
the
wanted it dismissed.
So remember we were talking about this last week, how the Matt was talking about the costumers, that she wore a wire and the FBI came.
Yes.
Right.
So those costumers filed a suit against her.
Right, because the costumer, it says, was arrested and indicted on charges of fraud.
Yes.
The costumer?
Yes.
Yeah.
The FBI showed up at his place of business.
Yeah.
And like handcuffed him, and like it was.
What was he arrested for?
He was arrested on charges of fraud after being accused of charging $787,000.
Yes.
To Erika's American Express card.
Yes.
All right. So,
and that was based on the wire that she wore, trying to get him to admit that he overcharged her.
Yeah.
So they
Erika wore a wire?
Yes. We talked. You were here last week with me when we talked about this.
Yeah.
I said I'm a little bit.
So it says in
February before the pod.
In February 2023, it was reported that Thomas Girardi may have used his connection to Lorenzo Robert Savage III, head of the Los Angeles office of the U.S. Secret Service, to bring charges against Christopher and Erika's credit card in exchange for Thomas representing Lorenzo in a separate case. So there was some shady dealings going on between Tom Girardi and this guy who was in the Secret Service.
Yeah, which is what I talked about. You know, that's what was happening.
And it was an $18 million lawsuit that the costume designer has put over Erika. So now it's just she's going to have to go to trial. So.
And she's named in it because she's the one who wore the wire. To try and, take him down.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to watch that and see what happens.
Oh my God, this poor woman. You thought she thought she hit the jackpot marrying him?
Okay,
it was a good run for 20 years, man, but that fucking castle burned down.
Yep.
Yes, it did. That was no Camelot.
No. No. Oh, here we go.
Okay, so Vanderpump Rules, episode 5.
Okay, we're going to talk about that before we talk. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So James starts out with James heading home with Graham in the car.
Oh, yeah.
It was cute.
Cute.
Bring him home to Allie.
Very cute.
Allie immediately recognizes the dog and says, "Is that Graham?"
Yep.
But she's worried about Mr. Banks, the cat, because the cat's never seen a dog before.
Right.
But they kind of work that out, I guess. They're going to figure that out. Then Ariana and Kate are talking about the sandwich shop and all the red tapes and all the violations that are happening so that they can't open the sandwich shop.
I have to be honest with you. When those two are on camera, I fucking zone out.
I know.
I go right to my phone.
They're yeah.
I cannot stand them.
I don't even watch the show, but I know that there's no sandwich shop.
Okay. There's no, and I don't think there's going to be a sandwich shop. Maybe they could get a sandwich food truck at this point.
They're not getting anything. They're using that for a storyline. Ariana is in New York doing fucking Chicago.
Yeah, that's true.
And Katie is just wallowing in her...
I don't know what's going on with Katie.
She's just annoying as fuck.
I don't know, and I'm glad I don't know.
And then we see Tom
You would
and
not
Tom.
like Katie.
No, you would not like Katie. Then we see Tom and Tom go shopping for the Tahoe trip. Which, I mean, when those two are together, I feel like, honestly, it's like Dumb and Dumber.
It is Dumb and Dumber.
Right?
It's a little boring. I'm not going to lie. I was a little bored at that, too.
And that was very staged.
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
Tom playing with the knives.
And then Tom Schwartz gets an alert while they're shopping. Oh, alert.
Yeah.
Raquel now wants to be called Rachel.
Right.
Oh, and she's out. Like, come on.
Right.
You didn't get that alert while you were shopping.
Right. And Tom Sandoval's like, oh, I knew about the Rachel thing.
And he knew that she was out.
Okay. Right.
Because he sent her a text and it turned blue all of a sudden before it was green.
Right.
Then what about Sheena and Brock shopping for the bathing suit, and then they start fighting in the store.
This is another thing. Like, listen, why can't you, I know you're reality TV stars, but could you just celebrate a solid, good marriage? Because I honestly think Sheena and Brock have a good marriage.
I like Sheena and Brock.
I do too.
I like them a lot. I don't know. Do you listen to her podcast?
Once in a while.
You have to listen to her podcast.
It depends on who's on.
She was talking, was it on her podcast or another podcast? Her and her husband. So she's been through a lot of therapy, right? She's had trauma and she was taking antidepressants, she says, during this season. And then she weans off of them because then she's doing EMDR and she meets this doctor and she's going to have her brain chemistry tested. And she has her brain chemistry tested and Brock has his brain chemistry tested. And he's got them on these supplements so that their brain chemistries are more in sync. I was like, I don't know what this is all about.
Okay.
But I think I want my brain chemistry tested.
Listen,
this
is available to marriages across America? I feel like we should all be privy to this.
Right.
Wouldn't it be fucking amazing if all of our, listen, not all of our, but if my brain chemistry and Eric's brain chemistry matched up?
Right.
Because that
How about
would
this?
be pretty fucking amazing.
I don't care. No, I don't care if my brain chemistry matches anybody's. I just have my own brain chemistry and everybody's got to deal with it.
Yeah, well, that's not how it works in my house.
Well, that's how...
That's not how it works in my house. So it would be amazing if all of the brain chemistries could work together. You're right. Like, not just me and Eric. Me, Eric, Tess, and Joe.
Yeah, just brain chemistry. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Me neither.
So I think...
Because only rich people get to do
right.
this shit.
So the doctor that did her brain chemistry said to her, like, I don't want you and Brock to go to therapy because I know many people who I've met, many couples who we get their brain chemistry in line. They don't need therapy.
I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that.
But I mean, if you could take a pill, can you imagine? Now you could take a pill and not have problems with
and fix
your
your
spouse.
marriage.
And fix your brain chemistry.
I could do that with my kid. Now that I would do with my kid.
Well,
Yeah.
there you
Maybe
go.
it's because my husband and I, the brain chemistry is fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm not just, listen, I'm just saying in general.
In general.
No,
yeah.
but that's...
Right.
You're right.
Right. The fact that this is even something?
Exactly.
Who knew that this was
in
something?
any relationship in your world.
Right, that it's a thing.
Right. Like,
Right.
who knew that this was a thing?
Right.
So, anyway, so they're fighting the store about the whole, you know, she's got the post-traumatic OCD. Right. And, listen, I liked that, one, that they dropped it, and two, that once they got to Tahoe, Brock is like, listen, I was wrong. I need to be more aware of my environment, and I'm going to do better.
Right.
And I like that he did that.
Absolutely.
I think Brock is a really good guy.
Why?
I love him with Summer Moon.
Yeah.
He's good.
But I don't want to see them fighting in the middle of a store.
But it was a stupid fight.
It was a stupid fight, but I believe it was for the camera because
No, I don't think it was for the camera. I really don't think that Sheena thought that this was going to turn into this thing. Because then she
listen, my
stormed out.
husband and I can fight. We can
In
fight.
the middle of a store?
No, never.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Well, I think that's what Sheena's point was when she stormed out of the
I don't
store.
know. I think they would have held it together for real. But this is on camera. And
I don't know.
And everybody wants to
I mean, because they were already fighting on the couch with her mother there, like when they were home.
Yeah, but that's different. You're not in public. You're in public.
I
Like they're
know.
showing the store employees.
I know, and she felt bad about it. And he didn't realize it was even happening. It was like, well, we're just having a conversation. I don't know. Okay, so move on from that.
All right.
I also feel bad for Sheena because she's worried about what Ariana's going to think.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I mean, it's her best friend, but
Yep.
you can't worry about that. Like, you have to live your life. You have to live your truth. And
Yeah.
you've already expressed to Ariana that you know, understand where she's coming from.
And listen, Ariana's going to get to a place in her life, and I'm sure she's there now, that...
I wouldn't be too sure about that.
No?
Well, because, I mean, I think that
But if you're happy, you're going to mend those friendships.
Well, I don't think she's there yet, to be honest with you.
Well, she'll get there.
I hope she does.
She'll get there.
I hope she does.
We have technical difficulty. The phone says the Wi-Fi network W does not appear to be connected to the internet.
Okay.
Do you want to temporarily use cellular data?
We're not
Data.
using any data. We're just
Oh,
using the
so
camera.
we don't have to do anything.
No, I love Lori. I do love her.
I did too.
I do.
Well,
love
we
Lori.
had a whole
Okay.
Listen.
episode of Tech Mess.
Thank you
I know.
for bringing
Thank
up...
you.
Well, I didn't know.
Okay. No, that's good. Thank you for sharing.
It's my 2 cents. I'll just sit.
All right, so then I love how Graham Cracker gets to ride on the private jet because it's too late for James to get Graham Cracker a seat on the flight to Tahoe.
That was amazing.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I really did like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lisa's doing her...
Because Lisa would rather a dog on her private jet than any of the cast members of Vanderpump Rules.
That's for sure. That's
Can
for
you
sure.
blame her?
That's the takeaway.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
She would rather Graham Cracker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's doing her photo shoot for her new restaurant, Wolf.
Did
with
you...
the wolves?
So, I don't know. It must have been Teddy and Emily because I haven't listened to Teddy and Tamara together. But they were saying, like, there's definitely going to be... So, Vanderpump is basically probably coming to a screeching halt.
Well, I don't know, but...
And she's going to do a new show.
Wolf?
Yes.
The Wolf Restaurant?
Yes.
Yeah, so Teddy and Emily do Vanderpump. Tamara doesn't do it. That's
right.
all Teddy and Emily do.
Right. So that's what they were saying.
Yeah.
That, you know, they were talking about it so much, there's no way she's not trying to get a spinoff for the Wolf Lodge.
Well, she already has a spinoff, though, for some kind of
but
chateau.
I don't think it's getting much
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Listen, if those were really wolves and she was taking those pictures with them, I mean, good for her.
Weren't they really wolves?
I don't know if they were wolves or dogs or huskies. Like, they look like huskies to me. I don't know.
I would take a picture with a wolf. Yeah, I love a wolf.
Would you put your face next to it and kiss it? Like, she had her face next to it. I mean,
Yeah.
these are wild animals.
Yeah.
Wolves are wild animals.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't know. Like, I'd like to say yes, but I'm such a scaredy cat. I might get there and be like, oh my God.
I would love. There's a big wolf reserve up by Sparta.
Oh, we
that
should
you-
do
that
that.
you
I would
go
do
to.
that. I would do that.
Big wolf reserve.
Why?
Because we're in a controlled environment.
I mean, I'll go for the ride, but like I said, I believe animals belong in the
Well, we
wild.
know how Wendy is with the
Listen,
animals.
we're going to do a whole North Jersey field trip, and we're going to film it.
Okay.
Right? We're going to go to Envy by Melissa Gorga.
Okay.
We're going to go to Pizza Love because of Kathy Wakili.
Okay.
And we're going to go to the Wolf Reserve.
We gotta go to the other pizza place too. Your friends. in Staten Island.
Ah, Giovie's. We're going to go to Giovie's. Frank Vesci's going to drive us.
Does Frank Vesci know he's driving us?
I believe I mentioned
now
it to
he
him, yes.
Okay.
You know what I want to do again? As I did it once. I want to go in the spring to the Newark to the cherry blossoms.
Cherry Blossoms.
Oh, in the park?
Oh, my cousin Donna films
Just
that
takes
every year.
pictures?
Yeah, because
It's
she lives in
so-
Bloomfield. She goes
it's
Can
so
she meet
pretty.
us there and take our picture?
for sure.
Well, I went with my friend Karen because that's
Yeah.
where she grew up. Bloomfield.
Does she she's a professional photographer?
Karen?
No, your friend who
Oh,
goes
no.
there and takes pictures.
No,
No,
anybody
she's
can
just
go
my-
and take pictures.
She's just my cousin.
Oh.
That goes there 'cause she lives close.
I have pictures on my
But I'm
phone.
sure she'd take our picture.
We can bring a selfie
We can go
stick and
eat-
take our picture.
we can
And
go
we're so
eat
good at
down
By the way,
selfies.
I think it kicked in.
Yeah.
We can eat in Down Neck.
We can what?
Eat in Down Neck, Newark.
Down neck?
Yeah, Down Neck. It's a section in Newark where all the Portuguese.
How many
are.
times are we gonna be eating? We're going to.
I like to eat.
I'm
Like
gonna be
me.
eating like 10 times.
Like
Right?
pizza places
That's
we're going.
right. It's all about the food.
And then we're
Is
gonna
this in
finish
one
it off
day?
with Portuguese.
Yes.
Oh,
I
this
do
is in
love
one
a
day.
Portuguese.
All right.
Not fucking Lestrada because they screwed me on a gift certificate when they shut down.
Okay.
But I do love Portuguese.
Okay.
And they have good Portuguese food.
All right. All right.
What about these two clowns here?
All right. Tom
They're
and Tom.
together. They're not
No,
together.
no. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Oh,
Tom and
God.
Tom are driving, and then all of a sudden Sandoval starts
You
crying.
tried.
Sandoval starts crying.
Is that when Sheena said hi to him?
That's why he was crying in the car,
Come on, bro.
because
Get it
Sheena,
together.
yeah.
Get it.
Then they get to the rental house, and Lala
Right,
thanks
right.
Shorts for putting everything together and inviting them, which I
Yeah.
thought, like, Lala has really come a long way. I really think she has.
Oh, I love Lala. Wait, so then we find out that Hippie was the name of George Michael.
Yes, so now it makes
So
sense.
now we know.
Okay, I'm okay with Hippie now. I
I'm
really
totally
am.
okay with Hippie
Yeah,
now.
before I was like, this is dumb, makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Sandoval admits what he and Raquel did was wrong, but there was no malicious intent when he's talking to Brock, because he's trying, like, Brock is trying to be like, you know, you gotta kind of,
Yeah.
and Tom's like, I don't want to talk about that, and but he's like, you gotta, like,
Yeah.
you gotta mend this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just keep talking.
Okay, so Sandoval and Brock are talking, and Sandoval has arranged, he announces he's arranged for a guided specialist to come over in the morning and help them get through everything. I don't know. I think that's a little odd since
I'm
they're
a specialist.
like a meditation kind of, but they're not even
A
speaking.
healer.
Like,
a healer.
yeah. I mean, if you're doing this with your friends, but they're not even talking, so I think it's like a big jump. But
It's a big jump, but probably it needed to happen.
I mean, yeah. All right, we'll see what happens.
I mean, listen, Sandoval didn't get fired
no, he didn't.
like some people wanted. He didn't get fired. He's on the show.
Right.
So you got to do something to move past.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And then Lisa Vanderpump shows up at the house with Graham. She brings Graham in, and that's when James talks about he's thinking about changing the dog's name.
Mm-hmm.
And then Allie is talking to Tom to find out like what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And she finds out that the dog was biting because Tom knows that. And also she's decided that if Raquel can change her name to Rachel, then we can change the dog's name to Hippie.
Right.
Which, okay, that was some good information.
Right.
Right?
Because that was his godfather's dog's name.
Right.
So it
George
is an
Michael.
homage.
Right,
It is
an homage. Yes. And then Ariana's on the phone with her designer, Lucinda, and she's talking about how she has to get back to her lawyer because Tom wants to buy her out of the house, but she has all these custom pieces that she worked with Lucinda to get for the house, and if he wants them, then he's going to have to pay for them because he's not getting them for free. And then they're talking about that big custom chandelier thing, which I thought was hideous.
Right, but the other thing of them together is Legos.
I love that. I thought that
was fucking amazing because throughout, since the first episode, they keep showing this thing.
Right. This
and
picture.
Nobody knew it was Legos.
Right.
And she said he can change it to just me. Listen, Ariana, change it to just you.
Yeah, or maybe
so we can stop fucking seeing it.
Maybe put your new boyfriend in there.
Yeah, do what you got to do so we can stop seeing it.
I actually like the idea. I would love to get a Lego portrait done. How much does that cost?
I don't know. If somebody does that, reach out because I'll do it.
Okay.
My family will.
That'd be cool.
Up,
That'd be cool,
but
right?
I'll hang it.
All right. And then Brock apologizes to Sheena, which I talked about.
Yeah.
You know, so that's good. And then the gang, all of them, they show up at Lisa's new restaurant that's under construction. It's like bare bones. And
they're all taking hits at the wall.
Right. She gives them a sledgehammer to go, you know, get out your aggression and get out your frustrations and say what, you know, what's frustrating you. And I just think it's interesting that when Tom gets the sledgehammer, he is saying everything but what he did.
Right. He's saying everything that people said about him.
Right.
But that's a narcissist.
And that's, it just was bad.
Yeah, it was very bad.
Yeah. Then they all go out to dinner with Lisa, and they're at the restaurant. And I thought it was funny when Schwartz orders his, whatever the heck he ordered. Whatever it was, Lisa's
He ordered a shot of bourbon.
Right.
And then somebody else ordered a shot of tequila. Well, Brock and Sheena were going to do tequila, and he was like, no, let me have tequila.
Right. And then Lisa says, but you're supposed to order the Vanderpump rosé, like Allie did. So that
like, even if you're not going to drink it.
Right.
Just
like,
order it.
You need to get my brand out there a little bit more because, you know, the show isn't named after me.
Right.
So
Right.
let's get more out there.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, Lisa says to James, why don't you say something nice about Sandoval?
Yeah, like that's
not going to happen.
No, it's not. And good for James.
Yeah. He's
good
like,
for
no,
James.
I'm not there yet. Which I'm glad because he's not there yet. Like, why are you pushing that?
Right.
I mean, I get it. She wants them to move forward, but like, give him a chance.
Yeah, no, shit's got to happen first.
Right. And then she raises her glass, and they howl to the moon because of the wolves. And then Sandoval asks James, can you, come over here and I want to have a chat with you, which basically he's now kind of finally apologize.
Right.
I mean, I think it was good that James said, listen, I thought of you as a big brother.
Right.
You were the last person I thought would do something to hurt me.
Right.
And, he does apologize in the way that he can.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what James needed.
Yes. Yes.
And I think now that that's happened, I think that those two can move forward a little bit. I mean,
Yes.
they're not going to, they're not running out together and,
No.
But at least they're going to move forward a little bit. Like
Right.
there's been some accountability.
Yes.
Which needed to happen.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And, then we're going to have to wait and see what happens, because I think we're going to see next episode where they do the healing thing.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
Yeah, because I think that doesn't Tom get partnered up with Sheena, because I think they partner up.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how that goes.
Me too. I'm hoping that it's like remember when Jersey did that? Like when it was Caroline and Al and they did the horse thing. And like
I was thinking about when Siggy. Why do I call her Siggy? Siggy did it when they did that like retreat thing.
Yeah, like that too. Like I feel like we saw like genuine feelings come out. So I'm hoping that it's something like that. I do think that this is the end of Vanderpump Rules, though.
I don't think so.
I do feel like we're coming to an end.
We'll see, though.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
I do think that she's trying to try out other things, because I feel like they've tried to introduce new cast members, and that didn't work out well.
Mm-mm.
It was COVID. It was different. That Dana, Charlie,
right.
Max.
Oh, and the other guy, too. There was another guy.
Yeah, there was another guy. So, like, I don't know. But I feel like these people who are on it now, like, it's kind of played out.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
And then we have Jax and Brittany.
So Jax and Brittany, last week came out the picture of him and his publicist.
I don't know who the fuck it was, but he was still wearing his wedding ring. So it was like, what are you doing?
I think it was his publicist or his manager. It was someone that works for him.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were very cozy in the picture, but they said nothing was going on. And then last week on Brittany's podcast, it's actually their podcast together, but
right.
Brittany said on the podcast last week he was not on it.
He wasn't on it. Okay.
But she alluded that, marriages are difficult and sometimes you go through things, but she didn't really say anything specific. And now this week, at the end of her podcast, because she had one of her new castmates from the Valley on, at the very end of it, she said, listen, I know it's out there. I want you to know that I alluded last week that, things are difficult, but I have moved out of the house. I'm living someplace else for my mental health. I hope it's going to work out. We'll figure it out. Pray for us, and things happen. Okay. That was yesterday. That literally was yesterday. That podcast came out yesterday because I listened to it. Because I heard it was out there. I said, oh, let me listen to it. And then today,
they're back. Jax
puts out that they're now living under the same roof and they are not getting divorced. Okay. I mean,
TV.
I don't think it's first storyline. I don't think
I do.
I never do.
I think it's first storyline.
I know.
I think that they knew that their new show was tanking.
I don't think Brittany would do that. I just think she's a good Kentucky girl.
Listen, she can say what she wants. She can look at her face right there in that picture. She's not a dumb girl. She's not some dumb
she's not that bright.
Midwestern girl. She's not that dumb. She said she didn't know who Jax was, and then
she definitely knew who Jax was.
Of course, she knew who Jax was. Listen.
We're gonna have to wait.
I think she was the best thing that ever happened to him. I think that she towed him in line, but I think that she's right there in the midst of, I'm on a reality TV show. Now I'm not on a reality TV show. Now I have an opportunity to be on a reality TV show. The testing says it's not doing well. What do I have to do to get more interest?
All right,
She's not a dumb girl.
We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yep.
We'll have to wait and see what happens. Are you going to watch it?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, you said no.
I know I said no. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to lie. I'm struggling with Summer House right now, and I know we're going to talk about that when Beverly Hills wraps up.
Yes.
I'm struggling with Summer House right now.
Okay.
We'll talk about it in another episode. We will. But
so we'll wrap this one up. We'll end this one with our quote, and then we will move on.
Well, I don't have a quote.
Okay, so Lori doesn't have a quote.
I'll give you a quote.
Oh, there you go. See?
Quote on demand.
The days are long, but the years are short.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Kelly
But is
Whitter.
that not the most
Kelly Whitter said that.
impactful thing, though? The days are long, but the years are short.
Well, that is very true.
I like it.
I mean, think about
I mean,
it.
this is a very long day.
But
Yes.
not only that, like, think about your kids. Like, I remember when, like, Tess was 3 and Joe was 1. Like, I remember that and thinking, like, this is so fucking stressful.
And now look.
And now they're 20 and 16, and I would give everything I have to go back to that.
Because now you say, this is so stressful.
It's so much more stressful.
It's so funny because I so remember when my kids were little, Bill and I would travel. We always traveled all the time. We take our kids everywhere. We'd go to Florida for a month. We'd go on a cruise. We take our kids everywhere. And all these people would be like, oh, you enjoy this time, enjoy this time.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. What are you talking about? And now we know.
Oh, now you know.
Now we know what they're talking about. And I feel like I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to be that person when I see young couples. But you know who's going to be that person? Bill is going to be that person. He's going to be that person.
I remember turning 40 and
That was a long time ago.
being very sad. Listen, I had my tubes tied when I had Joe. So I was 29 when I had Tess. I was 32, I guess, when I had Joe. Whatever. But I remember, so I was, younger than 40, obviously, when I had Joe. But when I turned 40, I thought, and I had my tubes tied, and I thought, I will never be pregnant again. I'll never have that.
No. Yeah.
And it was very, not only being pregnant, just having another kid. Like, it was very impactful for me. I don't know why.
Well, because you reached a milestone.
But wait, that was when you were 40 you felt
when
that?
I turned 40.
Not when you had your tubes tied.
No, that's what I mean.
That's
Like, I was
interesting.
very on board with having my tubes tied. We always wanted 2 kids, whether it was 2 girls, 2 boys, girl, boy, it didn't matter. We always said 2. And I had an emergency C-section with Tess and a scheduled C-section with Joe, and I had the option to get my tubes tied, and I did it. And I did it without question. But when I turned 40, I was like, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clock tick, tick, tick,
Yeah.
ticks away.
And then eventually, like, I had to embrace, like, I have older kids. And I'm never going to have that little kid. Like, so now I just got to get through this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucking
Just wait.
hard.
Sweet till you're really old like me and Wendy.
Yeah, we are really old.
You are not. You are not.
No, we are pretty old.
No, we
I
are
mean,
pretty old.
it's funny because this is really weird. The only age that really ever affected me, and this makes no sense, is when I turned 38. Because I thought, oh my God, I'm 38. I'm going to be 40 soon.
Right.
Like 38 led me to believe, oh my God, I'm going to be 40 soon.
Mm-hmm.
Now at 38, so I had William at 35, Andrew at 37, Matthew at 6 weeks prior to 40, so 39. But 38 bothered me.
Bothered you, yeah.
Why? 40 didn't bother me. As a matter of fact, when I was delivering Matthew, I was almost 40. And when I went to the hospital, because I went in to be induced, because I said, I'm done, like this, let's get this out. I had my hair done and I had my tiara on. I was like, I'm going to be 40 and I am delivering this child. And all of my children, I delivered, through vaginal.
Right.
I don't like to say that word, but I just did. And I remember
It's a medical term.
I know it is. It is. I know.
Nothing inappropriate.
I remember the doctor telling me, who delivered Matthew, and he was an older doctor. I had a whole group, but the one that delivered Matthew, he was an older doctor. He says, in all my years, I've never, ever had anyone in delivery with a tiara on. I said, well, here you go. Here I am.
It's very surprising, though.
Right,
I mean, good for you for doing it, but how had he never had that before? I wouldn't think of it. I'm just not a tiara girl. But, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot out there.
I would think. But anyway, at the point, now, looking back on it, because I have 3 boys, and people are always like, oh, you're trying to have a girl. Do you want to have a girl? And I never, ever, never, ever wanted a girl. I never wanted a boy. I never cared.
Right,
it never
right. I
mattered.
didn't care.
It
Yeah,
never,
I didn't
ever.
care.
It never mattered to me. And it doesn't ever matter. It doesn't matter. Kids are kids. People are people.
Well, I shouldn't say that. It didn't matter to me, but Eric was the only one who could carry on his family name. So for us to have a boy,
that was important.
It was important, but there were so many boys in Eric's family that the fact that Tess was a girl, so there's 3 girl cousins out of 12 cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And Jessica is only 3 years younger than me. Jackie had to be, I don't know, 8 or 9 when I had Tess. So Tess was like the first girl in a while.
Right.
In Eric's family.
And the interesting thing is, I didn't even think about it, but my kids are the only one that carries on Bill's name because there's no other we're the only Edigans.
So Joe's the only one who can carry on Eric's family name. And Tess was the first granddaughter in my family. My mother had 5 grandsons before Tess was born.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So
until next time, thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
Good night.
But what if they're listening in the morning?
Well, it's nighttime for us, so that's just how it is.
Good morning.